So one day, this woman is skydiving, and she's done this 1,000 times. But this time, when she goes to deploy her parachute, it doesn't open. No big deal, she'll just use her reserve chute. But then that doesn't open either. And that is when she starts panicking. So her name's Els, and Els loves skydiving. So much so that every weekend she'll leave her husband and kids at home and she'll spend that time jumping out of planes. Now Elle has a friend she skydives with sometimes, this guy, who we'll call Lover. Because eventually, Lover and Elle spend so much time together, they end up smashing. So every weekend, Els will leave her family, go skydiving, and smash with Lover. Now, unbeknownst to Els, Lover is also hooking up with this other woman, who we'll call Side Piece. Side Piece is also a skydiver, and she's way into Lover. Now, she knows Lover is seeing Els, and she doesn't like it. She wants Els out of the picture, so then Side Piece gets to work trying to make that happen. She writes an anonymous letter to Els' husband, tipping him off about the affair, but that doesn't work, and Side Piece ends up very frustrated. She anonymously calls Els at home and breathes heavily into the phone, trying to intimidate her. That doesn't work either, and Side Piece ends up even more frustrated. Here's the thing though, Els and Side Piece are actually friends. They go skydiving together all the time, and Els has no idea Side Piece is trying to ruin her fling with Lover. So Side Piece's frustration continues to build and build and build until one night, Side Piece and Lover go out to dinner, and when they get back to Lover's place, Els is there waiting. Like, hey, Lover, surprise, I'm here to hang out. So now, Side Piece has to hang out with the both of them and pretend she's not jealous as shit. Now, I don't know exactly what was said or how this happened, but somehow they all three end up staying the night at Lover's place, with Els and Lover sleeping in Lover's bed, and Side Piece sleeping in a sleeping bag on Lover's living room floor. And so Side Piece, I imagine, is laying there on the living room floor, and all this frustration is built up. And finally, in that moment, she loses it. So she gets up and she gets a pair of scissors and she gets Els' skydiving gear, because Els had all her gear there, and she starts cutting things on Els' parachute. She removes the pilot chute, this little part here. She cuts off some very important straps and drawstrings and all kinds of stuff. Fast forward to 2 weeks later when Els and Lover and Side Piece are all scheduled to do a jump together with a larger group. And 4 of them plan on doing one of those formations that skydiving groups sometimes do. So they go up in the plane and they all jump out and they do the formation. And it's a little sloppy, Side Piece jumped late, whatever. So they do the formation and then they give the signal for everyone to deploy their parachute. And everyone does. But Els, her parachute doesn't open. And Els has been doing this a long time. She doesn't panic. She just goes to open her reserve chute. But then that doesn't open either. And that is when she starts panicking. She's scrambling to try and get the chute or the emergency chute to open, but nothing works, and Els free falls over 2 miles down to the ground. Meanwhile, down below, a woman is out in her yard, and suddenly, she hears a crash. She looks around in some bushes, and she sees Els. And obviously, Els doesn't make it. Now, police, they start investigating all this. They take Els' parachute, they bring it to a parachute expert, and pretty quickly, parachute expert is like, someone tampered with this. And more importantly, he notices the pilot chute is missing. Then, for some reason, Side Piece goes to police and is like, hey, Els' gear wasn't sabotaged. I found the pilot chute, I guess, on the ground. Here's the thing, though. Police never told anyone the pilot chute was missing. And they're like, how'd you know the pilot chute was missing? Bitch, now you're a suspect. And after they investigate a little more, they find out about the love triangle between Side Piece, Els, and Lover. And that Side Piece had slept in the living room that night near Els' skydiving gear. So they bring her in for questioning more than once, and one of the times she doesn't show up because I guess she was trying to unalive herself, which police feel makes her look even more guilty. So they arrest her, she goes to trial, she's found guilty. Here's what she really looks like. She's sentenced to 30 years in prison, and she spends about 12 and a half years in, and she got out last year. And all this happened in Belgium, so shout out to Belgium.